Yeah, I don't think it's going to go for an hour. No.
Welcome to a podcast. Damn it.
If only they'd take the penis out of my ass, honestly.
We'll segue into that in a minute. Right, I'm going to take a really quick piss and then we'll get this thing started. Alright, so shall we give this fucking Raz then? Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, everybody. My name's Keegs and welcome to podcast number 23, the 6th of July 2015. Tonight we're joined by a motley crew.
I wouldn't call them motley.
Yeah, we're not that good at music.
Yeah, come on. I think
I see what
any
you
of us
did
play
there.
music, do they?
Yeah.
We are joined by the ever-present Xenon.
I'm always
this is
here.
his channel.
Bad smell. Can't get rid of me.
Yeah. We're also joined by Nate, Pugs, and Ripple.
Good evening.
Hello!
Morning.
We're currently playing Terraria.
Yeah, they're playing Terraria instead of, paying attention to the podcast.
It's not this way, Pugs. Other way, Pugs. That's the beach.
As you can hear, they're playing Terraria, which you can't see, but yeah, they were in the chat.
Let me tell you, it's very exciting.
They were in the channel. We couldn't get rid of them. We had to make room.
Pugsley!
That's a bit of background noise to our local news.
Looking for a meteorite.
We're looking for a meteorite. There you go. That's breaking news, everybody.
Yep.
A meteorite has landed in Terraria land.
It's exciting times.
So, anybody who's wondering, we're doing Q&A at the end of the podcast. At the end of every live podcast. If you've got any questions, tweet them to @KeegsKegel or @Xenon_ST during the podcast, or you can leave a comment afterwards, and we'll address it next podcast. So
I should log into Twitter then.
yeah, or at least have it on your phone or something.
Yeah.
So, what do you have anything to discuss before we start, Keegs?
I don't think so. I don't think we've got anything to catch up on since the last one, do we? No comments or anything?
No, not that I know of. So I'm ready to get into it.
All right, let's get into it then.
Get into it.
No.
You found the meteorite yet?
No.
No, all right.
I hit the sea.
First point of news is the meteorite has not been found.
Thank you.
On top of that is that Team Fortress players have decided that Splatoon needs to become a PC game. So, taking it away from the Wii, they've modded Team Fortress 2.
It is the
You'll be
game
able
to
to
mod
play,
when you want to play something. When there's something to console only. TF2 is generally where you go to. It's the first port of call. I think because it's easily moddable.
It's the easiest. The easiest Half-Life engine to probably mod in, especially in this style, since Splatoon is a very team-based game.
That's true. It's like it's two teams facing off against each other.
Splatoon, that was the painting game.
That's right.
Yeah, it's a big game on Wii U at the moment because it's probably their first real, I guess you could call it FPS.
Is it third person? Although no, there is some first person aspect to it.
It's a bit of both, but it's a very team-based competitive game where you, other than kill each other, because Nintendo aren't into that sort of thing. Well, sort of. There's a few games that might border on that. But it's a very family-friendly, competitive game where you sort of, rather than blow people apart, you spray them with paint and turn into squids.
Yeah, so it's in the standard Wii style of big heads, big eyes, tiny little bodies, and it's I haven't played it. I don't have a Wii U because I've got a soul and a girlfriend, so.
Fuck you, I have a Wii U. However, I've pretty much solely used it for YouTube and haven't actually played it.
You heard it here first. Keeks has no soul, no girlfriend.
I've played Mario Kart 8. About it. Except my housemate is much better than me, so I barely play it.
So getting back to the matter at hand. Basically it's just a mod for Team Fortress 2. I noticed that they added the actual models because it's very, very basic. They're basically just getting all the mechanics worked out where you spray onto the ground and it changes the colour of the ground in big blocky squares. But I noticed that they actually added...
It's a bit more blocky than the actual game.
Yeah. But I noticed they actually added the models, the actual Splatoon models. It's actually in the Steam store, in the Steam Workshop store.
Apart from this guy's using the grenade launcher from the Grenader in TF2, whatever his name is.
Yeah, I don't know if they've changed that,
Swedish
but they've
guy.
actually changed the models that are running
Demoed it.
around. So yeah, they're making
Yeah.
progress.
Yeah, it looks like it'd be fun. I mean, Team Fortress 2 has like the medieval one was really fun. That was sort of a different play on Team Fortress 2. So, and yeah, it's something different. And yeah, Team Fortress is kind of losing its steam of late.
Yeah,
That's a pun.
I see what you did there. Bad kicks, bad.
These puns still happen, do they?
Yeah, but they've gotten
Sure.
worse.
It looks interesting. Might be a bit of a laugh.
So it's
I have
it's
to say I'm
called.
surprised that it's a.
Yep.
I'm surprised that it's just a Wii U title. It looks like the kind of game that would suit well on a PC.
Well, it's Nintendo. They tend to stick to their own.
Yeah.
And because it's being aimed at the sort of younger generation, and it's taken off pretty well. It's pretty popular.
I was watching an ad for it and it looked like fun.
Yeah, and a lot of people people who I follow who play, I guess you could say, more grown-up games, have said it's really, really fun. So they've got the mechanics down right. It's just marketing maybe even the wrong people.
Yeah, so it's called Splat Fortress, and if you're interested in giving it a go, check it out on. I think it's on Steam. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's in the Steam community.
Yep. So go to Steam, look for mods for TF2, and I'm sure you'll find it.
Yes.
Still shitloads of water down here, Pugs.
Nobody cares about your water. Shut up. Quiet back there. Quiet back.
Speaking
Yes, they do.
speaking of Nathan, his shitload of water. Steam scams.
Okay. I didn't see that segue coming, but you know.
Oh,
Hammer on with it.
Nathan's a scammer.
You,
We all
you
know
still
it.
do
Oh, fair
segues?
enough. Fair enough.
Which I try. It's getting harder and harder, but I try.
Every week you've got to. You're like, oh fuck, segue again.
I really pushed and strive for them, but it doesn't happen.
It's also
But anyway,
easier. It's also easier when you have more people because there's more people ready out there with bad puns. When it's just
More
the two
people
of us.
I can
it's-
just throw the shit out.
So anyway, what was
That's
this
the
news on?
quality of pun he has when there's 5 of us in here.
Yeah,
Usually
well,
the ones when there's 2.
It's it's
But-
pretty grim.
but back in our heyday, like back in episode 10, the bowling with punches. Now
Oh yeah.
we're fucking fishing through boots, you know.
Yep, flogging a dead horse. Yeah. Let's move on.
Yeah. Anyway, so Steam have changed their policy to replacing Steam items lost through to scams.
So I
Which
didn't, when I watched this, when I read this article, I didn't quite understand. So what they're saying is that if somebody steals an item off you, like scams an item from you, and you report it, you don't get your item back anymore. Is that basically what it is?
Yes, that's it. They used to just replace it without any sort of question. Well, not there was a little bit of questioning, but it was quite easy to scam the system as well. So you get your friend to scam you and take your item, and then you'd get Steam to return your item, and then you'd have 2 items.
Oh, I thought they would have just taken the first item back again.
Systems. No, because a lot of the times they were taken through third-party software and third-party websites. So
I'm
it's
guessing
kind of
also
hard to track.
that you would also that if you, I mean, when you scan the item from somebody, you immediately sell it on to someone else who then pays for their
Yeah,
item,
that too.
not knowing it's stolen.
Yeah.
So I guess I can sort of
So
understand.
you swap it for keys, and then you know
Yeah.
who was the real victim, because if they've sold it to somebody else and they didn't know that it was stolen, then you know
So much stealing and crap going on here.
there's a lot of scamming on Steam, especially through CS:GO and Dota. There's a lot of scams.
It's just not it's not an area of Steam that I really have much to do with. Like I don't trade or
No.
sell anything, so I never see it.
Yeah, I mean the worst part is that there is so much money involved in some of these scams. Like some of the CS:GO items that are worth $400.
Jesus.
Or can be worth much more. Steam has a limit of $400, so you have to use a third-party software to sell things. An
Oh.
AWP Dragon Lore, which is just an AWP with a sexy skin on top of it, is worth $2,500.
But you can't sell it for $2,500 obviously because there's a $400
No,
limit.
so you have to sell it on a on a different website, or have to buy it with keys, because keys are worth $2.50. So you have to sell.
So many keys.
You have to give somebody 1,000 keys in trade for their AWP Dragon Lore. Sorry, 100 keys in trade.
I went
Yeah,
actually went
massive
through
gun
the Steam FAQ on how most people are scammed. They had 15 ways that people are scammed, and they all revolve around you not paying attention to trades.
Yeah, it's all being dumbasses, and
Yeah.
that's why I'm not against this. I think this is good, because Steam are usually getting scammed themselves by doing this. I mean, it's a good system for them to be, hey, sorry you got fucked over, here's your items back. But most of the time, it's people clicking on a shitty link, or just going, oh, here's your thing, and then clicking accept before the trade's even been equalised. And, so it should be their own fault. I mean, sure, a lot of kids are going to get fucked over like this, but it's going to be a fucking learning curve.
Yeah, I was
going
gonna say it'll be a life lesson for them.
Yeah, it will be a life lesson. If you're fucking under 15 and trading weapons that are worth 400 odd bucks, you need to be careful. You need to learn to be careful. If you're not careful, then you deserve to lose them.
Fair enough.
That's my take.
Yep. I can only agree with that. It's like, if you're trading something worth any amount of money, just be careful, like you do with anything on the internet. If you're buying something from not so much a reputable trader, but from just someone you didn't know, an individual, like eBay, for example, you'd be relatively careful. Although your PayPal sort of is the in between for you there,
Yeah.
but assuming you don't use PayPal, you'd approach it with the same amount of caution, I would think.
Yeah, and people will use everything they can think of under the sun to get these weapons off you. Like, I'm part of a Australian CS:GO Facebook page, and I see a lot of people posting screenshots of people just trying to scam them. Like, they'll say, "Oh, I want to trade your knife or whatever," but my account is trade banned or whatever. You need to use my brother's account. So they'll put up this link that says something like steamy commie dot blah 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 blah, just trying to hide the fact that it's not a real it's not a real Steam page. And as soon as you click that, it gives up all your details and gives them access to your account, and they'll just take everything you have.
Yeah, I mean, it all revolves around paying attention. If you're not paying attention,
Yeah.
then you can get scammed.
Yeah,
That's the
I
life
mean,
lesson, I think.
unless
Here,
you-
fucking pay attention.
yeah. Unless you know these people, and unless you are willing to do a legitimate trade through Steam, don't click any links. Don't believe any of this shit. It's not worth it. I mean, if it's really that hard and it's something worth more than what you can sell it for on the Steam community, then go to a reputable selling site like what's it called? I can't remember the name now.
There are none keys.
OP
the Wild West out there.
Skins, OP Skins or CS:GO Lounge, they're both pretty reputable and have a decent policy with scammers. So
Oh, Suicide King in the comments has got a trade for you. It's all you gotta do is go to notascam.com/gimme your items. Sounds legit.
I better check that out.
Quick, hang on, I've got to alt tab and click a link.
Seems legit.
I have six Dragon Lores up for sale and a couple of Dopplers. If you wanna send me a link.
What are you saying?
Just enter your Steam details into chat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hang on, I've just got to give you my password. Which actually be quite difficult for me.
Oh,
'cause
yeah.
I actually
Password
don't know what my
user.
password is. It's one of those things. It's like it's always saved on my machine. So I was like, I couldn't give some of my password even if I wanted to.
I can't even scan myself. I don't know
Yes.
my password.
Security through stupidity.
Yes. Anyway,
next.
so yes, that changed, and I don't think that's a bad thing. I think that's a good thing because people need to stop being so fucking dumb.
Yeah, I just like I mean, they sort of are blaming the victim, but at the same time, it's sort of like you really need to pay more attention. It was your own damn fault.
it might be a digital item that you can't touch, you can't feel, but it's worth a lot of money, so you need to treat it like your bank account.
Yep.
Yeah.
Agreed. Anything from the peanut
I'll
gallery?
second it.
Oh, well, it's seconded. Motion
Oh, there we
moved.
go. EVE Online.
Motion carried.
There you go.
Somebody
Yep.
has also commented saying that they agree. Agree, Alexi. Fuck, there's all sorts of comments coming out there. I agree. In EVE Online, scamming is not forbidden. Philosophy is if you allow yourself to be scammed, you deserve it. Yeah, no, that's the way of life. That's business a lot of the time.
Yeah.
I work in that sort of business, and if you fuck up when you're giving somebody a quote or a price, then you have to live with that as soon as you sign the contract.
I guess so. Not really the same sort of thing. You're not, just for the record, Keeg does not go around scamming people.
No, well, no. I'm saying that we've been scammed before by giving
Oh, right.
somebody a quote when we've missed key things that, like, they don't show up straight away. You need to really look deep. And if we miss them in our initial quote and then sign the contract and then say, oh, by the way, these are part of your package, we're like, well, we
Yeah,
didn't
you end
think
up
so.
with a big bone.
Yeah, they're like, well, no, it's too bad. It's part of your contract now. We're out however many. So, yeah, it's sort of a way of life. You really need to, if you're going to play with money, you need to do as much research as possible.
Fair enough.
Always be careful when there's coins involved.
Yes.
It's treat
Coins.
money
Money-
like family.
money
They're both
coins.
expendable and get you pretty things.
Sesh Miles wants to know if I like bananas. Sure, I like bananas.
Only for scale.
Yeah, only for scales.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm missing out on this joke. Someone text me
Oh
the
my god! Come on,
understand.
Don. Get on the
Oh,
internet.
get on
That's
the
what you need to
internet,
do.
What's next?
Come on, let's pause the cast or stream so Mark can go and figure it out.
Yeah. We'll be right back while Mark figures out what
I'm
banana
gonna
for scale
Google.
means.
Do you like bananas? Do you like bananas?
You should Google bananas for scale.
Yeah,
God
yeah.
damn it,
You'll
Bugsy,
get
wait.
you get so
You'll
many
get-
bitches.
You'll get a lot more results.
Bananas for
Yeah.
scale.
Bananas for scale.
Google image search.
Well, he does that. And speaking of scale, we were
Oh, here we
talking
go.
about Frankie on PC's last week, 2 weeks in the limelight. He's
Who's?
been under a bit of
What's
he's been
happening?
under a bit of scrutiny, old Frankie on PC.
Yeah.
1080p. Now,
Oh yeah, before we start, listen,
believe-
I have an issue with Frankie's name. I figured he must have made his YouTube username when he was actually doing stuff in 1080p, but now he does it in 1440.
what a liar!
Bastard.
Hey,
His name.
see, the lies continue.
God damn it.
He's been under a bit of fire lately, for a few reasons, which we'll list. I don't know if it's fully
I
warranted.
like
Some of it,
lists.
yeah. But
All right,
basically,
lists.
it started. I think it was about 2 weeks ago. I think I saw this show up, and I saw it on the CS:GO Reddit because it quickly became a hot topic. He posted a video of just him playing CS:GO and what he's been up to and whatever. And in the video, he said, "By the way, I've learned to bunny hop," and he then proceeded to show us his bunny hop learning by planting 15 perfect hops in a row.
Hey,
which
hang on,
is
hang on.
nine-
That was not 15. That was like 3. Did you? I mean, did
No,
you watch
that
the
was-
video
that
recently?
was 15. Yes, I did watch the video, and it was 15 hops, pretty much perfect.
That
I
wasn't
mean,
the
yes,
one
a
that
couple
I
of
watched.
them.
I
It
call
was the one that I
shenanigans.
watched because
Shenanigans.
that's what everybody was bitching about because they weren't perfect. A couple of times he went over velocity, but he managed to land them. Yes, people think he's hacking. Well, not hacking, but he's using a bunny hop script, which is very, very frowned upon around the community because it basically is hacking because bunny hopping.
It gives you a competitive edge.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
But at the same time, people blew this. I think because I play a lot of CS:GO, and I think people blew this way out of proportion because he was on a public. Well, sorry, he was on a private server, and he said like for some reason this doesn't work on competitive, which is very naive of him because competitive very strictly stops this sort of thing. As soon as you go over 300 velocity, it will give you a movement
Penalty.
handicap, penalty, which basically stops you in your tracks. So if you want to be good at bunny hopping and competitive, you need to learn how to control your velocity. But yes, and he always hacks and cheats, and this is what people. I'm reading. So the chat's already adding comments to this, and this is what was the issue: is that everybody jumped on board to this, and like, well, if he's been using scripts in CS:GO, then he obviously was using scripts when he was playing DayZ, and people claimed that he was cheating in DayZ. I don't know. I didn't really watch any of his DayZ videos. I mean, I watched one or two. But about everybody hacked when I was playing DayZ back when it was the mod.
Oh, yeah.
You couldn't fucking play it unless you're on a private hive without it being full of hackers. So maybe he was a hacker, I don't know. But yeah, this sort of exploded and everybody jumped aboard. And a certain guy who I can't remember his channel name or something box, and he is a very well known. Yeah, 3 Kills Philip also made an. I'll get to this. Chat, just slow down.
Please.
Yeah. Okay. So, all right. Before I go any further, we'll list what the issues was. The first one was that he uploaded a video where he showed him bunny hopping quite perfectly, which was nigh unbelievable. He then. A couple of people made videos claiming that no, he couldn't do this.
With
One
the
of them in
with the
particular,
amount of skill and time that he would have had to practice, you mean?
Yeah, that's
Yep.
right, and 3 Kills Philip, whatever however you pronounce his thing, made a video asking people, he wants to give him the benefit of doubt. If you think you can do this, then put up a video to show that it is possible. The other thing was the guy who I still can't remember his channel name, something box, but he's a very well-known bunny hopper who is very, very good at bunny hopping. He critiqued his video, like broke it down bit by bit, and he sort of said, look, it could be possible, but with his skill and yada, 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 he's very, very doubtful. And that led to something worse, is that particular video got a DMCA claim, which means that Frankie manually, and he put this up on his Twitter, the guy who put up the video, it was a manual takedown by Frankie in a copyright claim. So Frankie has gone in there and said, I'm going to put a copyright claim on this because it used part of his video and took it down, which all these other YouTubers then got up in the stink, like Total Biscuit got up about it, and that's when...
What do you got to hide sort of thing?
Yeah, it's like, why are you taking this sort of action against it? And that all sort of blew up and everybody sort of got on top of him. Frankie came back saying that he took responsibility for it being done, but he didn't take personal responsibility for taking it down. He reckons that somebody who looks after his channel took it down, which I bring up Total Biscuit's argument that why are you letting somebody have that sort of
Control.
CS box? It's something like that. Why are you letting somebody have that sort of control over your channel when, especially in this sort of atmosphere, like this is a big deal, why would you do that? But he did reclaim and give the video back and say, look, that this was a mistake, which is also kind of damage control at the same time. But in the end, I say that yes, he was on a private server, so even if he was using the scripts, it wasn't really to anybody's else advantage, other than him just showing off that yes, he might have tried to teach himself using a script just to get the basics of it. We won't know. Whether he's in comp, we'll never know. He's an entertainer, not a pro player. He's not,
Hello?
Hello?
I think we've lost Keegs. Keegs, are you still there?
He's raged himself out of the chat.
Yes, he has. He's raged himself dead.
I think his headset's gone flat.
I heard something happen in the background. It sounded like it's something crying or someone yelling or something.
Yeah.
And then he went
My
dead.
sister's
He's still in the chat. There he goes. I reckon
Oh, he
something.
lost.
There he goes.
His mode's disconnected or something.
Let's
Maybe
do a Terraria.
Jags has made too many of those little little necklace things with all the copper wire out of his house.
Still always phone cable.
Yeah.
All right.
Taking all the copper out.
Well, while we're waiting for Keegs, I'm just going to try something that I'd set up earlier.
Have you got commercial breaks?
Yeah, let's go to commercial break. So I'm just going to put the chat in there. So now it's actually on the video, and people can actually see what we're.
Fancy.
Yeah, it's fancy. I wasn't going to put it in because I couldn't when I previewed it. I couldn't actually read the text. Let us know in the chat if you can actually read the text that comes out on the screen. So it'll be very exciting.
What's the link, Mark?
Go to my YouTube. I can't tell you what it is. Go to my YouTube.
That's all right. I'll send him a link.
Oh, yep. No, that's right. That's all good.
So, just to reiterate on what Keegs is. Oh no, he's back.
He's
I'm back.
We had a quick Terraria update.
For some reason my modem said you're talking too much about Franco on PC. We're not going to let you talk anymore.
Frankie's issued a modem takedown.
That's right. I may have just got a DMCA takedown on my kind of thing. I was pretty much finished anyway. I'm just saying that yes, I think this is blown out of proportion and that it'll be blown over soon. But I can understand some people's take on it. But it sort of shows me exactly how toxic the CS:GO community is by how quickly they jumped on top of him.
Yeah, so I've done a bit of research into this, probably about the same amount that you've done. So the bunny hop video that I saw, he bunny hopped. He certainly didn't do it 15 times. He did it like 4, maybe, and he actually said
he did it there and back.
Well, he tried to do it there, but it wasn't really. I mean, he wasn't really gaining any speed. It looked more like he was just jumping, like he was trying to bunny hop, but actually
but he well, you're watching, like, the idea is you got to watch the velocity because he doesn't need to gain speed because otherwise it will fuck you. You need to be at constant speed because if you get too fast, it slows you down and it's not worth it anymore.
Right. Okay. But anyway, I mean,
the hardest part about bunny hopping is that you need, as soon as you touch the ground, you need to space again to jump, and that's the hardest part of it. And he was doing that perfectly, which is what everybody's issue was. Is that that's nigh impossible unless you've been doing it for fucking ever or you've scripted it.
I think we have a bigger problem at hand here at the moment. No one can read chat at 480p.
No, I figured that was probably going to be the case, but I thought I'd try it anyway, so that's alright. I'll turn it off. Maybe we'll fix it for next time.
Maybe make it larger.
Well, I mean, the only way I can hang on. Let's turn it back on. I can actually make it larger, sort of. Whoop, that's not it.
It's only really for people that are rewatching, aren't they? Just so they can.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, people are in chat now.
The
already know.
Yeah, righto.
We've had quite a lot of chat activity today. I guess we've touched on a few touchy subjects. At least we don't.
Your massive rant you just had.
Well, yeah. Well, at least we don't have Frankie on PC fans and non-fans beating each other up and shit. Which, like every other video I've seen, that's what it's been. It's been absolute fucking chaos.
Yeah.
And that's actually why somebody said before about 3 Kicks Philip. When he put up his video, people were unsubscribing and fucking like sending in death threats and everything.
Jesus.
Yeah. That's why he very quickly put up an apology video about I'm sorry, this shouldn't have happened. I jumped on this too quick and
you wait.
Yeah.
You wait till this podcast goes viral.
Frankie on PC 1080's fans are very loyal and it's fair. And like I said, he's an entertainer.
And it's like he's one of the few people that on the internet who's like, he doesn't sound like either arrogant. I mean, most people don't sound arrogant, I guess, but he actually sounds like a nice guy. Like, he doesn't sound like a dick. Yeah. Like a lot of people you listen
really
to,
laid back.
Yeah, he's kind of laid back. He doesn't really care that much, and he actually doesn't care that much. Like, he has this, stupidly successful YouTube channel, and I mean, it doesn't make him a hell of a lot of money, but he.
Other than the DMCA claim he did against Boxer or whatever his name is, CS Boxer, and which he then quite quickly reverted. It's been a pretty victimless crime, so I don't really understand why everybody's jumped on top of it.
Yeah, I mean, I've watched a lot of his videos over the years, so I'm sort of a little bit on his side. But just to give you the rundown of the way that I saw it happen was that he posted, well, actually, to go back a year or so ago, he had an incident where people thought he was cheating in DayZ. Now, I don't know whether he was or wasn't, but that was something that sort of happened, and there was a bit of an uproar about it. It was kind of stormed at a hiccup. It lasted a week, and then that was kind of it. So,
Yeah.
so last week or 2 weeks ago, he posted this video where he says, "Oh, I've learned to bunny hop," and jumps around. People, like, I don't know, maybe wrongly thought he was in a public server. It actually turns out he was in his own private server. I don't think it was modded, but I think he changed some of the settings to make it easier to bunny hop, or maybe to stop you, stop the restrictions that would stop you from bunny hopping.
I don't actually know why people didn't realize that, because even when I watched it, he said at the beginning, he's like, "I've learned how to bunny hop." He was clearly in an empty server by himself.
But people
Most
love to
likely
jump
he's
to
like-
conclusions, you know what they're like. So
Yeah, but even while he
This
was
is the
doing
internet,
it,
after all.
yeah,
Yes.
even while he was doing it, he said near the end after he finished, he's like, "For some reason this doesn't work on competitive," which
Competitive
is
servers.
completely naive by him.
I think he was more
Like,
making a joke
yeah.
at that, but
Well,
so
yeah, well, he could have been. It could have been. So,
yeah.
yeah.
So then the DCMA takedown notice happened. So somebody posted something in his using. He said that he didn't issue it. He said he has someone that does most of his post production work and actually uploads his videos for him. Actually did it for him. Now I don't know whether that was true. I'm willing to. I mean, I'm almost 50-50 about it. It's like, why? That's sort of a big thing to have someone else do for you. I mean, the uploading of videos and the post production and stuff, I can sort of, but having someone issue DCMA notices on your behalf is it's a big thing to happen.
But what Suicide King just said about it's not a victimless crime if his fans threaten other YouTubers and unsubscribe.
That's just silliness.
Yeah,
Not
like,
Suicide King's comment, but the whole threatening people on the
Yeah.
internet.
but that's part of being this popular, and I agree. Like, yes, all right, that is true. I agree that once you become this influential, you need to be extremely careful about what you do. But you cannot lead this army. He didn't ask these people to do that. This is just extremist fans, which happens to everybody. I mean, you see people like some of Markiplier's fans get pretty nasty. PewDiePie's really get nasty.
Yeah. I think people love to rush the defense
but-
of people that they look up to.
There are.
They idolise, yeah. Look
Yeah.
up to,
Yeah. And what's worse is that it happened in a CS:GO setting where
Yes.
the community
Yeah,
is
it's even more
extremely
toxic.
the
It's
community
toxic to
is
start with.
extremely toxic. People who play CS:GO and love CS:GO are extremely defensive about it. So
Yeah.
if somebody with influence comes in and then does something that they consider a cheat or a hack, then yes, they are going to just attack them about it. So,
Yeah. So I mean, like,
yeah.
yeah. So I mean, that.
Let's say it wasn't victimless; it was collateral
Yeah. Okay.
in this. That some of these people got hurt.
Yeah.
As I said before, like Frankie on PC he's an entertainer. He's not a pro player. He doesn't get paid to play CS:GO. He's just another pleb who plays it for fun. So whether he was naive about it or not, I mean, yeah, no, it's a touchy subject. But as we said, what we were saying before about him with the DMCA claim, another thing that's slightly against him is that his first statement about that was that his MCMA
DCMA?
MCN took it down. Sorry,
MCN.
no, his multi-channel network MCN took it down.
Oh,
Which
well,
was-
the thing is, he may have actually thought
which
that
ended
that
up being a
actually
lie.
happened. Well, he may have thought that was actually correct
Wow.
at the time. Like, that is a logical thing. Like, the first thing that I would think, if because they would obviously have access to probably do that sort of thing on his behalf, and he would have thought, oh fuck, that's what they've done, and probably tweeted about it or wrote something about it. Went home, found out, oh shit, it's actually the guy that uploads my videos has done it, or if it did, or all this is a lie, and he actually did it himself in a fit of anger.
Yeah. I mean, and that's what we don't know. I mean, he probably was hurt by what people say. I would be too. I mean, he probably thought it was innocent. It might have been a joke on his part. Like we said, like him saying, "Oh, for some reason this doesn't work in competitive." I mean, that can be taken as a joke. It obviously wasn't, but it could have been a joke. So, like, and with all this backlash all of a sudden, I mean, I'd be kind of angry that people didn't see it the way I saw it. But I'd also be quite frightened that shit, I've pissed off a community that's already angry.
That is the problem. I mean,
Like the beehive.
it's kind of like wielding a sledgehammer. I mean, you can swing it around, but it's got a huge fucking clout. Like even the smallest action has a huge clout because you've got 2.5 million people, subscribe to you, plus however many millions more that watch your, videos every week. So he actually issued another video in which he clarified a few
Went through it
things.
all.
Yeah, and he sort of said, look, I'm sort of like, I don't really give enough fucks about this to really sort of take it any further. I do this for fun. It's not it's not a huge revenue stream for me, because he's actually got a full-time job. He doesn't sit at home playing videos all day. So
He probably could if he wanted to. I mean,
I'm sure he probably could.
got
Like if he
it's got a fairly big community with him.
yeah, well, 2.5 million people. That's like 1 in every 10 Australians being subscribed to his channel. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I really feel for the guy. I mean, the first thing was the bunny hop thing. Who cares? I mean, he did it in a private server. It really doesn't, like, who gives a fuck? DCMA notice was, whether or not you believe him, it was stupid. It was a stupid thing to do, regardless of whether he did it or whether his friend did it. So,
I mean, and that's like the DMCA thing isn't probably wasn't a big deal to a lot of people. It was just sort of more fodder to what he'd already done, because the bunny hop thing obviously started off, and then I first saw it on the CS:GO Reddit or the Global Offensive Reddit, and like people were just going ballistic about it, which is silly. But I think it was simply because he was such a big name is why everybody went ballistic about it.
and that's actually one of the things he said in his video, is that people were sticking his name in their videos with DCMA or bunny hop or some sort of provocative title in order to try and get people to watch their own channels. And he said that was one of the things that really annoyed him.
I think that's a bit of misdirection.
Well, maybe, but if that was happening to me, I'd be pissed too. So.
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, I'd be pissed, but saying that I think is a bit out of anger, if anything. But I don't think that should have been his main focus. I mean, yes, people are going to use it. People are going to use anything you do wrong. I mean, you need to live with that. That's part of being a big YouTuber.
Yeah. And that's the sort of thing. He is a big YouTuber, but he doesn't really act like a big YouTuber. Like he's not. He acts like a normal guy. Like he doesn't really give a fuck about most of this storm in a teacup type stuff. And he knows that it's going to boil over. Yeah. Like next week there'll be something else going on, and everyone will forget and go back. He'll go back to to making videos.
Yeah, someone else will upset the internet and focus will shift.
Yeah, that's right. It's going to be a very big wake up call for him.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm pretty much on Team Frankie, I guess. I think this is all the storm in the teacup. If I was in his position, I'd probably the same way he does right now. I mean, I might have even issued a takedown notice out of pure anger because people are just being completely stupid. But I mean, I'll still watch his videos. I really don't give a fuck. Like next week, this will be last week's news.
Yeah, like I said, in the end, he's an entertainer. He's not a pro player. He's not trying to lure people into doing things or showing them how to play. It's just purely entertainment. So
yeah, he doesn't even have an agenda. Like he's not it's not like he's trying to get more people to watch his channel. He's not like he's trying to be deliberately controversial. He's sort of backing away from all this, going, I'm waiting for this to finish so I can go back to making videos.
Yeah. But anyway, so it's up to opinion. It's everybody's opinion. If you feel hurt by him, then fair enough. You might have took him as a role model or somebody you looked up to, and then you've been hurt by whatever's happened, whether you believe it or not. That's the internet, baby. Like
yes,
that's real life.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, and he's going to have to deal with that now. I mean, this is certainly going to open his eyes to say, well, shit, I need to be a lot
little more
careful, a bit more careful about, especially for one, the community I'm dealing with, and for saying in that community. So, anyway, everybody learned a lesson today, I think.
Most of all, Frankie. The end.
Well, I don't know. I think a few other YouTubers as well.
The end. The end, I said.
Yeah.
No more.
Yeah. All right. Fine.
Moving on.
All right. What are we on to now? We're on
Not
to,
GTA V.
Not GTA V. We've played GTA V, but this is not
This is
GTA
not
V.
GTA V.
This
You
is
know
not
what?
GTA.
I've just realised that this is the one that I haven't actually looked at yet.
Okay, so I'll take the lead. So,
Yeah,
not
you better take that
GTA,
one.
not GTA V is, or GTA 5, I think it's actually GTA V, and the V is silent, so, it's a kind of piss take on, it's not even Grand Theft Auto related, it's just called GTA, and it's made vaguely in this, the logo they have is vaguely, actually you can see it on the screen, vaguely sort of GTA 5-ish, it's got the little banner thing at the bottom, and it's basically just a parody on a little bit on GTA, but mostly on the old game Snake. So it's all hand drawn sprites, all like what do you call it? Not hand recorded, like just voice recorded sound effects, like people making bangs and bang noises, and people walking around, and all of
This
it.
looks fucking stupid.
It was my exact thoughts when I saw the video. I stopped at about 10 seconds in. I'm like, what is this?
So yeah, so I mean, it's like it costs like 70 cents on Steam, or 79 cents US on Steam.
Too much.
It's
Bargain,
70 cents too
bargain.
much.
And it's meant to just be a piss take, and apparently it's going gangbusters on Steam at the moment. Like they're doing really good sales for the game that it is. It's just, I think it's one of those games that just happened to hit right at the right time, and it blew up, and people were like, oh, this is a fucking funny stupid game, and it's made by
You know
British.
what? If I type in GTA 5 in the search, only one game comes up, and it's called not GTA. This is on the Steam store.
No, what? I think we may have found out why they're doing so well. Sweet, I can get GTA for 79 cents.
75% off as well.
Hell yeah.
It's actually $3, but it's 75% off at the moment.
Yeah.
Funnily enough,
So it's made
people
by
pay real money for this fucking thing.
it's made by a UK developer, and it's basically a game of Snake with marginally updated graphics. So remember the old game
Fucking toms.
Snake from like the old Nokia phones, where you just you move a snake around and get your pick up
You
your dots.
literally chase your own circles, fucking 20 minutes, to run into yourself and then start again.
That's pretty much it. Yeah,
Yep.
and it actually takes the
For
piss out of itself
75
quite a
cents, you
lot.
can have this, people.
Good luck
So-
trying to find an old Nokia.
Yeah, I was going to say, we'll just find an old Nokia and use it.
So yeah, but look it up on Steam. Look up GTA V on Steam, and I'm sure you'll find it.
You know what's worse? It's got very positive reviews.
Well,
Fucking hell, Steve,
it
what
must
is
be
wrong
good.
with you?
It must be good.
Yeah.
It must,
damn it,
it
it
must be good. Fucking hell. Oh my god, somebody's even put a spreadsheet in their fucking review.
Yeah, this is the breakdown between GTA and not GTA, and they were using like really
Not GTA.
obscure things to sort of compare. It's like, does this one cost $80? This one doesn't cost $80.
Use space on a 100 gigabyte drive. GTA 5 65%. GTA 5 0.2%. If that doesn't sell a game, what does?
I like the Steam reviews too. It's like one of them said, they said it wasn't GTA V, and indeed it wasn't. 10 out of 10 most honest devs ever.
10 out of 10 can't wait for not Call of Duty.
I love it.
That'd be Tetris based.
I feel like I want to buy this now. God damn it.
Yeah, I could see us doing a playthrough of this. Like, let's play some not GTA. But
It's got Steam achievements.
they've actually released a couple of videos because people were sort of saying, oh, you can't really make a game called not GTA 5. And it's like, these are all the reasons it's not GTA 5. and yeah, I mean, they take the piss out of themselves. It's very British humour. You can actually play as as David Cameron. You can play as a couple of other characters. One of them's called Kenneth, and he's got a really ridiculous voice. Go and look it up. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, this is why we have fucking.
Play this and get your 75 cents
Like
back.
I'm 100% amazed that this is not early access. This is a game. This is a full-fledged game.
Watch out, people! We've awakened the
It's so
dragon.
rare for a full game to be released these days.
Yeah, I mean, and this only came out.
I mean, it
as
had
a
no
full-fledged
Kickstarter.
game. 4 days ago, this came out as a full-fledged game. That's incredible. That is just record-breaking game.
I think it's just a bunch of
These devs
people.
are on point.
A lot of people just jumping on the bandwagon. Someone saying, "Oh, this is stupid. Go and check this out." And people going, "Oh yeah," and playing it for 5 minutes and going, "Oh yeah, that was funny for 5 minutes."
Not.
Sorry.
Sorry. So somebody in the chat has just written.
Not
Jason
Destiny, not
said,
DayZ.
Not Destiny, not DayZ. The best part is not DayZ is already out. It's DayZ early
DayZ.
access.
DayZ,
Yeah, DayZ standalone. It's been out for 3 years. It's still not DayZ.
Zing.
Topical.
Yeah. So
I'm just scrolling back up through the chat because I haven't read the last fucking 5 minutes worth. Gone
wild, man.
Team Launders. So the Bravo says I'm on Team Launders. So Launders was the guy who posted the comparison about the about trying to bunny hop and not bunny hopping.
That's it, Launders. Yeah.
Frankie said Frankie's changed his statement 4 times. Well, he probably has, but yeah, okay. Well, I'm not going to get into a debate about it, but fair enough. I mean, there's arguments for both sides, and I think they're both valid. So,
We've passed this. We've
yeah, I know.
called
I'm
out votes on this.
backtracking, and it's bad. How long have you been with that Shack Tack?
We'll go back to all this at the end.
Actually, yeah, we might
want to.
do all this all at the end. Okay, so should we move on?
We shall. So, going from 75 cents games to $60 games that you want a refund for,
That you can get a refund for.
that you need, well, that you can't actually buy anymore at the
No,
moment. So I
that's
actually
true.
might be back on Steam. The new Batman came out on PC. Actually, we'll start with console. Came out on console. It was a really good game. It went really well. Everything went perfect. Came out on PC. It's a fucking shithole. Everything about it was bad, except
What was
for
it, Reece? What
a
was it?
lucky few. It was a shithole. You want me to say it again?
What was it, Reece?
I think he said it was a shithole.
That's the... I think it was a shithole. But bar from a lucky few, which is a fair lucky few, this ran like absolute arse. People were lucky to get the 30 frames it was capped to.
30
It's
frames.
actually capped to
30 frames
It
was
was
a high
capped
ceiling.
to 30 frames. For optimization, Pugsley. Optimization.
Oh yes, to give us that cinematic feel.
Oh no,
Yes,
no!
I've
If
heard.
they've got to cap it at 24 frames to get the cinematic feel, like The Hobbit.
That was 48 frames.
1930s.
Yeah, no, that's right. That was high frames. The Hobbit would have been fine.
Yeah, we should have played the whole.
48 frames I could live with. I mean, I want 60, but 48 I can deal with. 30, nah.
So Arkham Knight was released, what, 2 weeks ago now? Almost 2 weeks ago?
Yeah,
Something like
yes,
that.
I believe so. Yeah.
And it was basically full of bugs. A couple of the QA, the quality assurance guys for Rocksteady, I think the company was, whoever was doing the conversion, basically said this has been broken. It's been broken for a year, and very little's been done to fix it. All the testing they were doing was at 720p, not 1080 or above.
Why would you test it at 720?
That's
Who
what-
still runs 720?
Because that's what they were told to test it at. I get the feeling that Warner Brothers obviously knew this was happening, and people have actually inside the company have said yes, they've known it was going to happen, but I think they waited of the chance of it blowing up in their face versus people just going, oh fuck it, it runs good enough, and decided to release it and then realised it blew up in
Like
their face.
they've already pre-purchased.
Yeah, exactly.
So you still can't buy it on Steam. You can buy fucking the season pass for $40, but you can't buy the game.
So yeah, so
I
it got
want all
pulled.
the DLC, but not the actual game.
Did it get pulled 2
Yeah.
days after or 3 days after it got released?
Yeah.
It was pretty quickly.
It wasn't long after. It was about half. Yeah, it was about half a week after that they. That they decided to pull it. And yes, that they changed the minimum recommendations like a couple of days before it came out to like something ridiculous.
And it was all what made it
Which-
worse was that they actually at I think it was E3 about 6 months ago or 12 months ago, they had the game running at 60 frames per second, sort of showing, oh, this is what it's going to look like.
It was sped up.
Just double. They slowed the actual
No, it
gameplay
was.
down and then sped up the video. No,
Yeah. No, they did. That's what people were. They had a big thing about Reddit on it. There's the voices in the game sounded like chipmunks, and they were trying to figure out why. And they reckon that they actually sped up the gameplay,
wow, that's pretty sharp.
make it look 60 FPS. It's fucking ridiculous. I mean, this is what we expect now.
That should have raised some
This
red
is
flags
E3.
at the time, I think.
I don't think anybody sort of thought about it. It's like, oh, I'm sure it's just a bug, and then the game came out. Everything's a bug.
So people are saying that
Yeah, that's just
there's a frame rate cap of 30 frames per second. You can get around that by editing an INI file, which Warner Brothers warn people not to do. For most people, editing the INI file either crashed their PC or made it very unstable. A few people it didn't really, it actually didn't affect that much, and it essentially worked for them. So.
It was luck of the draw. It was absolute random luck of the draw with your PC build that it worked or not, which is not something you want for a game that cost you however much it was. I'm sure it was an AA title cost game, which is $90 Australian. So what, $60 US?
I'd also argue that it's in this day and age we shouldn't have to be adjusting INI files to get
No.
more frame rate.
Well, it wasn't a case of...
We should have a game that fucking works.
Yes. I mean, it shouldn't be capped at 30 frames a second, and they shouldn't have been testing it at 1080p, and they should have put a lot more Q&A and bug reporting into the PC version. But from everything I've read, they pretty much said, yeah, we're concentrating on the console version, doing bug fixes and optimizations for that, and only about 10% of the workforce was actually dedicated to the port. So, and 10% of their workforce is about like 10 guys, I think. So that's why not much has happened in the last year.
Yeah, and like the chat is saying, with Watch Dogs was the first sort of eye opener that hey, people are starting to lie about the quality of the games that are coming out, and then Assassin's Creed came out, and we're like, all right, is this going to keep happening? And Batman came out, and surely somebody on their fucking team must have played it on PC before it came out and went, I don't think this is ready. I think we might want to do that. And then rather than saying, okay, maybe we should just postpone the release on PC, like what GTA 5 did. They postponed the release because they were having stability issues on PC. But instead, they're like, no, we'll just spit
And
it
they're
out
just
there.
like torturing us.
Yeah, they were just, well, that too. But they're like, no, fine, we'll just spit it out and then we'll deal with damage control.
Well, that was what a lot of people have been. Well, not a lot of people. What I've heard people have been saying is that they're using the automobile industry approach to this. So the parallel is the automobile industry learns of a fault with your vehicle, like a recall, something that needs to be recalled. They weigh up the cost of recalling it versus the cost of potential lawsuits, and if they pick the less one, whichever it is, regardless of whether it's the lawsuit or the the recall. So to draw the parallel to the gaming industry, what they've done is they've probably done a cost benefit analysis. Somebody in a boardroom has pointed to a graph or a pie chart maybe, and has said, look, it's going to cost us more to keep it
Pie.
it's going to cost us more to keep it as it is, and work on it and fix the problems and release a couple of months down the track. And the people at Warner, head honchos of Warner Brothers have said, no, fuck it, release it. We'll deal with the fallout, and they didn't realise quite how bad it was going to be.
How bad, yeah.
But yes, I think everybody is aware of the fate that Batman has brought upon us all is that nobody trusts games anymore.
Yes, exactly.
However,
you wonder
I
when
would
there's going to
like
be a shift to something more like I don't know,
Better
web.
days.
Yeah, a bit more. Yeah, a bit more QA, a bit more
And
quality.
that brings me on to my rant.
Uh-oh.
Oh, a
Oh,
kid's
we've
rant.
been waiting for this.
He's rant. Right.
Everyone, grab your popcorn.
One good thing I think has come out of this Arkham Knight debacle, and that a couple of people in chat have slightly touched on. One is Pete 10 Fred 66999, blah blah blah. Do you think other game companies are actually making sure their games don't suffer the same fate as Batman Arcane on release, or do you think that they'll just
Hopefully
deal with
you
any problems
died.
that arise? And what I think, and I sort of spotted on the other day, is that since Steam have brought out this refund policy, Arkham Knight has been basically the test subject for this, and it has worked perfectly because everybody who bought this game that had issues got their money back, or bought it on Steam anyway. And I think that is fucking fantastic because this means that now the consumer has the power, not the devs anymore. Before, the devs would have brought this game out, it would have been fucking broken. They wouldn't have stopped selling it. They would have just left it on Steam. People would have kept buying it. It kept being broken. Then slowly the patches would have rolled out to make it somewhat playable. But now everybody's demanded their money back. Warner Brothers were forced to take it off Steam from sale. And now we have power again. We can say, well, fuck you. If your game's not good enough, we're going to demand our money back. And that's going to make it much more risky for developers to put their games out on Steam when they're broken and make money off them, because
Yeah. So this is the revelation that eBay had back in quite a while ago. That eBay doing returns, like pretty much not, you could basically give any reason to PayPal to say, look, I didn't get my item or whatever the problem was, and you got your money back. There was someone in between to say, no, you didn't do what you were supposed to do. We're giving the person their money back. We're taking it out of your account and putting it, we're giving their money back. This is the same thing that's happening for games now. We've got the Steam or Valve in between saying, no, you didn't deliver on what you promised. We're going to give them their money back, and there's nothing you can do about it.
yeah, and that's right. And before we didn't have that, which gives us the power now to fucking actually want to hype a game. Like, let's say Watch Dogs was the biggest. Watch Dogs was the first AA title that everybody hyped because it looked fucking awesome, and then came out and let everybody down.
I don't think Watch Dogs
let us down. And I
think SimCity was probably the first one.
Oh, yeah. I don't think SimCity had nearly as much hype as Watch Dogs, to be honest, because Watch Dogs was meant to be the battler of Grand Theft Auto. It was meant to be
fair
like,
enough.
hey, there's going to be a new IP to Grand Theft Auto. This looks awesome. It's new age. It's got new tech. It's going to look fucking amazing. It's on next gen.
Yep.
Then it came out and it was fucking shit. It didn't look anything like they expected it to. But anybody who pre-ordered, and fucking Watch Dogs had like 8 different ways you could pre-order it to try and get everything. Yeah. And all these different packages that if you wanted everything, you'd have to spend like $400. And then it came out and it was shit, but we had no way of saying, well, crap, we just waste our money, we can't get it back. Unless you're on console, you can sort of trade in and get some of it back. Except probably nobody wanted to buy it because they knew it was shit, so they didn't want to buy it. You get $15 back. But now that we have, Steam has... I don't like white knighting Steam because I still don't like the idea that they have this much power, but Steam has come in as the shining knight in armor and said, hey, if this game doesn't live up to your standards, we'll give you your money back, which means that we can say, that game looks awesome, I hope it's awesome, I'm going to hype it up when it comes out. If it's not awesome, then I'm going to say, fuck you, I want my money back, and they get hurt. They take the risk rather than we take the risk. And I think that's fantastic.
Could it be, Keegs, that you will change your stance on pre-ordering?
I would not change. Well, I would not change my stance on pre-ordering. I still think pre-ordering is bullshit, but I will take more risks in trying games that I wouldn't before. because like after all this crap of all these games coming out, saying they're all this and showing off these huge marketing campaigns about how awesome we are, and then being absolute crap when I spent my money on it and gone, this isn't what you offered at all. This is a flash in the pan. So
Yeah.
now I can say, hey, that does look pretty good. I might try it. This looks nothing like what I thought. Fuck you, I want my money back. Or this is actually pretty good. I'm glad I spent my money on it.
Yeah, I mean, it's the equalizer that the PC industry has kind of needed for a while, to stop the arsehole, the big the AAA titles that overpromise and underperform.
Yeah, and Skaith has just said I'm pre-ordering Fallout 4. You know what? You should pre-order Fallout 4 because if you're a massive fan of that company like Bethesda and you really enjoy those sort of games, then pre-order it because yes, that is backing the people you love, and if it doesn't work out, then yes, you can take the money back. But at the same time, I want people to stop pre-ordering because that is giving people a motive to ask for money before a product, which means that they are then basing that product on how much money they get. So rather than saying, hey, we're going to make this the best it can be, they're going to say, hey, let's make this the best that the money that comes in can be.
I don't know if that's the way. I mean, you can't start making a game. I mean, you can't even start doing pre-orders without some semblance of a game. So, I mean, you're going to have to get funding before you start, which means you're going to have to go through the channels that they've always gone through to get funding. In that instance,
with the franchise, yeah, I guess so, because they're already banking on it being big because people like Gaith, who's obviously a fan of the Fallout series, is going to buy it anyway, and that's fine. I mean, I want to play Doom. I'm not going to bother pre-ordering because, to be honest, I don't think I'm going to get anything extra out of pre-ordering because I'm not trying to play it day one. I'm not trying to be the first person to play it or preload it. I mean, I can wait a couple of days to play it. But if Fallout 4 says that you get a special DLC for pre-ordering, I wouldn't pre-order it. That's bullshit. Anything that says you get something extra for pre-ordering, I think shouldn't be a thing.
It kind of stinks of money grabbing, doesn't it? It's like, oh, we'll give you this free shit that doesn't cost us anything to give you for giving us money early.
An extra $20.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not. I agree with you in that instance, but I'm still not convinced that pre-ordering is a fundamentally bad idea.
I understand people want to pre-order. People who really love their franchise or whatever want to support them and want to get all the bits and pieces with it to say, this is how much I love this game that I'm showing it off. And I can't really sit here and say I don't, because I have a whole desk sitting next to me I've got a Portal 2 turret, I've got a cat bug, I've got some Minecraft stuff, I've got all these different bits and pieces from games that I enjoy. So I'm not going to say, don't love your game franchise of choice, but don't try and buy it for the fact that you get something more than anybody else. Do it because you love it. Mm-hmm. Because Battlefield's a big one, where if you pre-ordered, you get fucking this DLC, this DLC, this DLC. That shouldn't happen anymore. That needs to stop.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah. That's my rant.
Rant
pre-ordering
over.
Blah, blah.
Hang on.
I'm pretty sure I go over this rant
rant.
every podcast we have. Eventually, the listeners are going to get it drilled through their head that they shouldn't pre-order things with DLC.
Your previous comment in chat before the end rant was fitting as well. Just AbbotNet end rant.
Yeah.
Okay, so your rant is over. You feel deranted.
Slightly. Sorry, I might take off again. But, I'll try and hold back.
Everyone.
Someone might trigger him.
Yeah, everyone brace
I'm very easily triggered.
All right. What have you been playing this week, Keegs? You tell me CS:GO.
I haven't been playing a lot. No, I haven't actually. I've been
good.
playing. I'm playing Dirty Bomb again because I'm going for the. Trying to go for the Australian Pro League this weekend.
Oh yeah, is that this weekend?
Yeah, that's like with there's another tournament and the top 8 going to pros. We made top 8 last tournament, so we're hoping to get in again and go into the pro circuit for the pro ladder in Australia.
Cool.
But other than that, I've played I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream over the last week.
I watched the
That.
streams.
It was interesting. It was different. It was a bit weird.
It was a bit weird, yeah. It was a game that I wasn't even aware of, but yeah, it was interesting to watch.
Yeah, it was something different. I like those sort of games, sort of quirky, sort of a bit edgy games. But yeah, no, it was alright. Other than that, I've been playing fuck all.
Cool. Pugs, what have you been playing?
Terraria.
Yeah, Terraria. Since the big update, we've been playing with all the new things that they've got in there, and a bit of Dirty Bomb as well.
So they did an update for Terraria recently.
Yep.
Ah, interesting. What does it introduce that it didn't have before? Or was it like bug fixes and stuff?
Content.
Okay.
No, just extra content.
Lots of creatures and
New
things that are queer.
missions and new bosses and stuff and weapons.
Cool.
Lots of new items and
Yep.
things.
Nate Dog, Ripple,
Like-
have you been playing anything else?
Same. Exactly the same. Terraria and Dirty Bomb.
I had a crack at Abe's Odd World the other day.
Oh yes.
Woo!
Did you buy that on Steam as part of a pack or something?
Yeah. Oh, it was like $2 or something for the both of them.
Cool. It was as good as you remember.
No, it was terrible.
Was it?
No, don't ruin my dreams.
The thing is, you can buy the shit quality one for like $2, or the high quality one for $10.
And you went the shit
So-
quality one.
Sorry.
You went the shit quality one.
Literally like $2.40 potato. Or you can buy the or you can buy the 1080 potato.
It doesn't just up the res, it doesn't redo
Yeah,
any of the
literally.
textures.
It gives you like they've redone it completely,
Okay.
but it's just exactly the same game, just with lots of new pretties in it.
Mhm.
Yep.
And I went for the 240 potato
Oh, okay.
and regretted it instantly.
So how much of it did you actually get through before you threw your hands up and flipped the table over?
Let me look here.
How many
I
hours did
played
you
that-
sink into it?
I played Abe's Odyssey for 1 minute. And
Load of the
then
menu. Oh, no.
and then I played Abe's Exodus for about 42 minutes.
You should get your money back on Steam.
My $1.
Yeah, get your dollar
I
back.
think I'll let them have that one to up the res on the next Abe's Odyssey.
You're funding upgrades for the next one.
That's right. Yeah.
Nice work.
Yep.
Nate Dog, have you been playing anything?
Terraria and Dirty Bomb.
That's my Steam library. That's not supposed to be
Ben.
there.
We played some Rust the other day.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, me and Peter.
How did that
That
go?
was pretty good.
Have they changed
was
much
right.
in the last
Still,
6 months?
I only bought it 3 weeks ago, and still not quite finished yet. Still
Okay.
not much to do, but it's pretty.
Okay.
It's a good time.
Cool bananas.
Yeah, all bananas.
Well, I have been playing pretty much not much at all. I've had a fairly busy work week, so I haven't really played very much. I streamed Half-Life, the original Half-Life, with Fotis a week ago, 2 weeks ago, I think a week ago. We did the second half of, or second part of our Half-Life playthrough. Had some fun with that. Apart from that, played some Arma 3, Arma 2 with Shack Tech, and not much else. So, very boring week for me. Does anyone have any questions, comments that we need to go over?
I do. I would like to answer some of these
Yeah.
questions. I'll start up back up the top. I've just been reading through them. Multi Bob one. When we were talking about pre-orders and Fallout before, he said Fallout will probably work. Bethesda is reputable for the games they've released, and their games are known to have small hidden glitches at times and crazy ones at others. Fallout 4 probably will work because the Fallout series has been pretty good. But remember, these are the same people that released fucking Elder Scrolls Online, so think about that. when you're going to pre-order things.
Let that sink in.
So, yeah, just have a think about that. Who else was there? Oh, Pete. Pete 103 blah blah numbers asking.
Just numbers.
There's a lot of numbers. He knows who he is. He's asking about some of my Let's Plays. I have no mouth and I must scream and to the moon. He's been wanting to watch them, but he's put off by the fact that he won't get the same experience by watching them. I have no mouth and I must scream. Might want to play yourself. That one's a bit, because it's such an interactive game. You're probably better off playing that yourself. To the Moon is more of a narrative, so you're probably not going to lose anything by watching somebody else play it, because it is basically, it's just a narrative. It's just a story being told to you. There's not really any options. You just go along with the whole thing, so you probably wouldn't miss out on the experience with that. It is a really good game though. It was very feelsy, very feelsy. Who else we got?
Oh, I've been playing Sherlock Holmes too.
Oh yeah, how's
That's
that?
a great game.
Yeah, that's really good.
I think we watched a playthrough
I
of that, didn't we?
picked it up in the latest Steam sale.
Oh yeah.
I watched Dodger play half the first mission or something, and I stopped myself because I'm like, no, I'm going to buy this game and I'm going to play it. And yeah, I don't regret that decision. Really good.
Oh, good. Sorry, Kegs, what were you saying?
Oh, I'm just continuing on. I'm just catching up with all the comments. They're going fucking crazy. A few people have been talking about Let's Plays about games like Walking Dead and Wolf Among Us and things like that. And I personally haven't played them. I have watched people play them. And I can't really say whether I've lost the experience by watching people play, because they are games that typically I either don't really have time to play, I wouldn't really I wouldn't really want to buy and play. So I've watched other people play them, and I enjoyed watching them, and I think I got the experience out of it by watching somebody else play. I mean, I didn't get to make the choices, but watching somebody else make the choices was basically like reading a story anyway. And from what I've been told, most of the choices don't have a huge impact on the rest of the game with those Telltale games.
Mm-hmm.
From what I've been told anyway, I don't know how accurate that is. But
I went the other way and played them instead of watching them. I don't think I would have enjoyed watching someone else play it as much.
I guess I'm so used to it because I watch a lot of people play games. Like I've watched somebody play through Metal Gear Solids, all the Silent Hills, just these games that I'd never get time to play.
You got time to
I'm
watch
sort
though,
of used
really.
Yeah, because I sort of watch them like
you
in
do
bed.
a couple of things, yeah.
Yeah, I just sort of watch them as I'm going to bed rather than watching TV or whatever. I just watch a couple of playthroughs of games of all these old style games that have like really big impacts that everybody talks about. But I never had a PlayStation or a PS2 or whatever to play these games, so I thought I'd just watch somebody else play them. And I don't think I really missed out on the experience. I don't think, but I was only after the story. I wasn't really after the gameplay. So
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. If you don't really care about the gameplay, you're just in it to watch the story and see what happens and just sort of know what happens, so you can sort of talk about it. I guess watching a playthrough is that's fine.
yeah,
And some games actually lend
mean,
themselves to playthroughs more so than other games. I mean, there are some games that don't have much narrative, like the Serious Sam type games where watching a playthrough of that would be boring as shit. But there's other games that, like the Telltale series, where it's basically just a visual novel where you can choose your own, choose your own adventure, essentially.
Yeah, I mean, it's each their own, really. I mean, and a lot of the time, if I start watching a playthrough and I see that it's a game that I really would like to play, then I'll stop and I'll go and download it and play it. But games, most of the time I'll just watch somebody else play them because I'm usually drawn to games that I've heard are really great stories and that I just don't have time to play. But yeah, like I said, each their own.
Cool. Luke asked how long I've been with Shack Tack, and do you think Kevo needs a personal medic? And he loves my vids. Well, thank you, Luke Rock. I've been with Shack Tack since May 2012. Tomorrow actually marks the release of my 300th video on YouTube. So that's
Beavers.
exciting. I've got
Anything special for it?
the problem is when you're trying when you've got a video, like when you're recording, it's kind of like recording. It's like recording a live event where you have no idea what's going to happen, and it's
That's true.
like you've no clue what's going to happen. So you're sort of like when you get to about about 10 videos before a milestone, you're sort of like, I should really start looking for a video that'll be 300 or 100 or 200 or 300 worthy. And you're sort of like, is this video really good enough? It's like some videos just sort of lend themselves, and you go, oh, that's the video I'm going to use. But most of the time, you're sort of scratching your head, going, oh, I've got to try and make this video better than perhaps it is, and make it a bit more exciting. So, I think the 300 video is pretty good. It's fairly short. It's only about 15 minutes or so. Previous sort of big videos have been either two-parters or 20 minutes plus. So. It's been a case of I've been actually holding on to these videos, or holding on doing the 300 video for a while, because it's just I've been waiting for a good video to come along, and then this one came along. I was like, yeah, I think that's probably the video I'm going to end up using. So, yeah. So
I
that.
think.
Yep.
Oh, sorry. Are you done?
Yeah, I'm done. I'll get back. Sorry, Keys. I'll get back to the box now.
I don't have a round. I thought you finished. But Suicide King asked about anybody have any opinions on Prison Architect. I think Pugs, you'd be a good
love
one to
Prison
ask
Architect.
this. You've
Yes,
played a lot
I
of
do
other
love my Prison Architect.
I actually
they come out
almost
of,
played that.
early
I almost
access.
streamed it today when I was looking for a game to
Yeah.
play. I was like, it was Prison Architect or whatever it was I actually played,
I-
Dungeon Master.
I don't know if Prison Architect would be that much fun to stream. I mean, probably once you have the prison up and running, it would be pretty interesting. But the starting is a bit slow.
Yeah, it kind of is. Like you can pretty much slow everything down and build what you need. So yeah, that's why I didn't end up going with it in the end. So
But yes, Pugs has played it since day one practically.
Yeah. I've looking at Steam, I've just clocked over 100 hours. So
Jesus,
That's
you
not
are
bad
the
for an early
architect.
access
do
game.
love your
Yeah. They've gone into a lot more detail than I thought they ever would with it.
yeah.
And the devs are great. They're very in tune and in contact with the community, very active. They've kept the schedule of releasing a new alpha build each month with either new features or bug fixes.
Okay.
Which, thinking about it, is there's not many of them, and it's a pretty big feat to push out a patch once a month for it's a couple of years now. Especially
considering it's a game that was released a while ago. That was in like alpha for a while. They're still releasing patches, even though they're not really making any money from it. I mean, they've been making money from people buying new copies, but as an ongoing thing, it's not really. How long can you bug patch for before you actually have to work on your next game? So
yeah. Well, they do plan to come out of early access by the end of this year.
They're still in early access. I thought they'd actually released it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's still alpha. Alpha 33, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
34 was last Wednesday.
34.
Oh, there you go.
Which
yeah.
added gangs, which is cool.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet. I had a huge issue. I decided to play it the other day because I hadn't played it since like before they even brought in the Riot guys. So I decided I'd give it another go and do it. I had huge issues with power. I must have missed a memo or something. But I had
It's little
like
capacitors that you've got to build next to the power station.
Yeah, like I got that, but I had like 3 power stations, but they're on different like ends of the building. And every time I'd start one, it'd just die straight away, and then I'd try to start another one, that'd die as well. So
you got to turn on each of the capacitors first before you turn the power station on, and the 2 power stations can't be linked together. They have to be their own separate systems.
Well, that's probably why.
Yeah.
That was the sound of Keys
electricity.
learning things.
I did. I learned lots of things.
Out of curiosity, what's your longest played games? Like, what's the most amount of hours you've played on any game?
Very good question.
Oh, that's
I'm pretty sure. Actually,
Oh,
I'm pretty
I
sure.
know.
Question that is.
I'm pretty sure I actually know what mine is already.
I know what mine is already.
How do I check this shit?
You just go to
Oh,
just go to Steam and go through your games. It'll tell you.
Oh, I'm
Yeah,
not going
no,
to go through all my games
No,
and search.
I know what mine is.
There is actually a way
There's
to
a big
view it in your
CS:GO.
profile. In fact, chat will probably tell us in a
Yeah.
second. But if I go, oh, it's actually only it's actually not that much. Oh, because I don't launch it through Steam. That's
Most hours and most money spent is CS:GO for me.
why. How many hours in CS:GO, Keegs?
I have 687 hours in CS:GO.
Fuck, that's up there.
Wow,
Fucking
Suicide
3,000
King.
hours! Jesus Christ!
I think
3,000 hours of Gmod.
I think Suicide King just
Go
leaves it on.
outside! Fuck!
Jesus Christ.
Jesus. You just leave it running while you
Yeah.
go out to go to work? Fucking hell.
3,000. He's playing it on his phone.
Yeah.
3,000
Just leaves it
hours
open.
is
It's roughly 4 months.
yeah, it's about 4
solid play.
months. Solid play.
I actually think I might have more hours on Battlefield 3 though. I think I'm up to nearly 1,000 hours in Battlefield 3.
Mhm.
I played that non-stop for like 2.5 years.
Yeah.
So I've got 85 hours on Terraria.
Right.
That's your highest.
That's literally my highest game.
My highest is 110 hours on Farming Simulator 2013.
That's fucking sad, Nathan. Jesus Christ.
Well, hang on. What was it?
Second
What was?
closest is War Thunder on 105.
How many hours was it?
Jesus,
110.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's a.
I've
it's
only
a
got
while.
65 on 2013.
Oh, do
Yeah,
you?
my next
Yeah.
one's TF2, and that's 360 hours.
I've got 262 on TF2.
55 hours on Spin Tires. And 55 hours in Terraria.
I've got
So
Look at
165
you with a
hours
life. Fuck.
on Mountain Blade Warband.
Actually,
but
I've got a lot.
I had that game before I got a Steam account as well, and I actually brought it again with Steam when it was on sale, real cheap, just to consolidate everything. So I don't know.
1,000 hours.
Definitely
What,
over-
what
definitely
rank
over
are you,
two.
Suicide King? Jesus.
So my top game is it's actually not that's not entirely correct. My top game will be Arma 2 most likely due to playing with Shack-Tac.
Yeah.
The problem is that when we play with Shack-Tac, it's got its own launcher, so we actually don't launch it through Steam, so the hours don't get counted. But my next one is actually Left 4 Dead 2, 575 hours.
Fucking hell.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, we
Fuck hell, the
we
game
sunk
was
some
good.
hours
It
into
wasn't
that.
that good.
We sunk some
Jesus.
hours, and the original Left 4 Dead we had 250 hours in. So, yeah, we played the shit out of that.
Actually, I tell a lie. In my Steam list, the game with the most hours. Oh no, second most hours was Bejeweled 3. In my
You.
defense,
I would not have
in my
admitted
defense, before you beat me, I gave my Steam account to my parents for a long time. I
sure
was
you
And
did.
I gave Nathan shit for being in Farming Simulator. Fucking bejeweled. Jesus.
I've played Terraria more than I've played GTA 5.
Actually,
Yeah,
yeah.
wow.
same here.
I've barely played
Actually,
GTA 5.
I was going to mention that before. Actually, the PC release of GTA 5 was well, I'm speaking for the people I know. It was a little bit lackluster compared to its console release.
Holy
I
shit,
mean,
that's not
and-
right. Sorry, I've apparently racked up 191 hours in GTA 5.
191.
191.
Rating or something.
I
I've
haven't
rated up
played.
50.
I could have played maybe 20 hours.
Did you leave it open?
I must have done.
Yeah.
Must have.
Sorry, what were you saying?
But, yeah, I've noticed that. I was thinking about, and it might even be a bit of an issue for these sort of games that go out first and leave it for fucking 2 years or whatever, however long it was out. But I found that once it came to PC, I played it, and all the hype that I had for it was not taken away. The game is still great. It's just that I'd heard and seen so much about it from console that I didn't really feel the need to play it anymore because I'd already sort of seen everything.
What was this?
I didn't play the game at all, and even I wasn't that excited by GTA 5.
Oh, we're talking about
Yeah.
GTA 5 now.
Yeah, I
King-
was.
Just wasn't.
Yeah,
Keeks, you played
saying
it
it,
on.
I was a little disappointed.
Yeah, the problem was they released it way too long after the console
Oh
release.
yeah.
Yeah.
So there
Oh,
was
yeah.
no
Exactly right.
there was no
build up or anything.
No, it was like
I
yeah,
kept
here you go,
myself
you finally get
completely
it.
separate.
We say that, but every podcast from the past before it came out was always about. Yeah, it's like, oh, it's been delayed. We can't wait for GTA 5. Then it comes out, we're like, yeah, it's okay.
We did get a solid week or two's gameplay out of it.
Yeah, gameplay out of it. Yeah. We were expecting our lives to be over for the next year, but yeah.
It didn't
And then
really
we
have
played
any
Terraria
staying
instead.
power, did it? It was like it was a
No.
the multiplayer was okay. It didn't quite go as far, it didn't have the legs that we were sort of expecting, because we played the crap out of it for the first 3 days, and then didn't really play it again after that.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, it had a bit of a shoddy launch. It wasn't very well optimized. There's still a few things up and down with
Much
it.
better than GTA 4
Oh, yeah.
in terms of release.
Yeah.
GTA 4, when it was first released on PC, was horrible. I couldn't play it for the first 6 months.
Yeah, I mean, but I was still a little bit disappointed because, like, I don't have a shit C, and I had troubles getting a good frame rate out of it.
GTA 4 or GTA 5?
GTA 5.
Okay. Yeah, I've had some.
AMD card you've got.
Yeah, it's basically AMD.
You shut your Nvidia mouth.
Yeah, keep your video to yourself, faggot.
Video power.
Okay.
He'd know.
Any other
Hey,
questions
so I can
before
go
this
overall
devolves
go
into
after the heist.
a horror show?
Into an AMD versus Nvidia
Yeah.
fucking
Pissing contest.
brawl. Yeah. Bar brawl.
Yeah, so any other questions, comments? Anyone else want to say anything before we kick off?
Don't say much because I need to go to bed.
It's past Nate Dogg's bedtime. He turns into a pumpkin
Yeah,
after
it is.
after 11.
He's already a pumpkin. He's lucky he's not eating himself.
He doesn't like pumpkin.
Well, that's lucky for him then.
Yeah. But he hates himself at the same time, so
Yeah.
it's a catch-22.
Alright, that's it. There they go. Sucking Nvidia is better.
Oh, end the stream.
And yep, it's finished now. It's over. All right, thanks for watching, everybody. We'll be doing another podcast, probably not next week, which sort of we're tossing up whether to do them weekly or fortnightly at this stage. So,
Bi-weekly, I think.
yeah, I think we're probably going to end up doing bi-weekly. We might actually do.
Bi-weekly.
We may actually change the time as well, so it's a bit better for the US people. So. Thanks for everybody for coming along and listening and commenting. Loving all the comments. So we'll see you all next time. So goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Good night, everybody.